much for battling with me. Now I finally feel free. Free from all of my sorrow. The part of me that built the ultimate weapon.
We've lived over 1 decade to finally see a man and a Pokemon who've lived over 3,000 years apart be reunited in a time of peace and rest, when for so long they only knew of war and pain. So how fitting for them now in the future of Kalos to run a hotel, a place of rest. If we could ask AZ why, he'd probably say it's because a hotel is a place where both people and Pokemon
tend to stay a while, so it is where many things come to settle. Why is it that once you finally get a break, rather than taking a rest, you instead come to me? Is it that you want to hear one of my stories?
Oh, he may look scary, but he's got quite the tale to tell, I'm sure.
I see.
Oh, please give this man voice acting. Keith Silverstein was perfect as AZ in Pokemon Generations, but voice acting or not, the fact that AZ and Floette are here and happy is everything. Who we thought was going to be a wandering giant we rarely see throughout the game is actually our wise, sage-like landlord. With his magical fairy Bellhop serving as our caretakers throughout this entire Pokemon journey. It all feels so unique and unexpected. The premise of this game itself is unexpected, as it's a direct sequel to X and Y. The characters, designs, it's all so exciting. So let's dive right into breaking down every character we've seen thus far. Legend ZA takes place after X and Y, not before. Now all that wireframe in the teaser makes some sense. That urban redevelopment, it's aiming to make Lumiose City into a high-tech concrete jungle mixed with nature and filled with people and Pokemon. And while we didn't get a glimpse of any new Pokemon, we did get introduced to a colorful new cast of characters.
Select to play background music.
Select a character.
The trainer protagonists, the rivals Tawny and Urbane, and the Quasarticle Inc. duo Jet and Vinny. The designs, chic. The posing, glamorous. Everything you'd expect from the luxurious Lumiose City, and that right there is our first conundrum. We all expected this game to take place in the ancient past, and just like the Legends game that came before. We were expecting to see the ancestors of beloved Gen 6 characters like Sycamore, Diantha, the gym leaders, and even Lysander. But that isn't the case anymore. Now, instead of the ancestors, we may be able to see the descendants. You see, Legend ZA has presented us with two possible situations. On one hand, this may be a black and white situation where the story takes place a few years after the end of X and Y's story. But on the other hand, this could take place 30 or even 50 years after. It's kinda hard to tell right now. And we say this because of the dapper giant and his graceful fairy friend. Notice AZ's new design. He's got a walking cane. But the last time we saw him, he was walking around perfectly fine. So is it possible that a lot of time has passed, so he's much older? I mean, it would be hard to tell since the only two characters we could reference from the original X and Y are both kinda immortal, so their appearances don't change much. And even though some of the NPCs are the same but with new designs, they don't give us a clear answer either, as the NPCs in Black and White 2 were identical to the first games, regardless of the multi-year time skip. So if it actually is possible that we could be playing in a post-X and Y 30+ year time skip, then that means we should prepare for a new generation, the descendants of beloved X and Y characters of the past. Could we be getting descendants of Serena and Calum as well? Are we playing as their descendants in this new game? Actually, now that we think about it, these two share some odd similarities between the Gen 2 protagonists Gold and Lyra. Of course, it could just be a coincidence with the color scheme and hairstyle, but it is odd that this game implies that these two come from a different region, and we do have ourselves two starter Pokemon from Gen 2. Maybe they're from Johto. Actually, if you think about it, the male trainer kinda looks like Sycamore with the hairstyle and color and everything. Could the protagonist be Sycamore's kid? Oh, also, if you didn't already know, the protagonists and rivals look very similar. And we know a thing or two about looking alike. The rivals have the same hair as the player character, and just a different color and without a hat. They're actually the same character. And this might not mean anything, but the jackets they wear have a green and black color scheme like Zygarde. Something to ponder. Also, their jackets have like a symbol on the back. We're not exactly sure what it could mean. It kinda looks like an M with a Z, never stretching it. I don't know, maybe it's a Mimikyu hand, who knows? Let us know in the comments, we don't know this one. Also, looking back at AZ's design real quick, it's really funny how his clothes look stitched together, which implies that he has to make his own clothes because nothing can fit him. He's too tall. But he kept the same shoes as before, interestingly enough, which we can't blame the guy. He'd be like, what, a size 27 in shoes or something? Now let's switch gears to the other fresh faces, Jet and Vinny. So we're just gonna come out and say it. Are they evil? Like on a scale of Guzma to Luzumi, where do these two lie? Pokemon always has a knack for twist villains, so mayhaps this could be just that. They do give off some Chairman Rose and Alina vibes. And if we look closer at their designs, we can see that Jet's clothes are space-themed. She has the company's Quasar symbol across her coat, she has crescent moon earrings, and even her ankle bracelets look like a moon. I mean, she is the CEO of Quasarticle Inc., and a quasar is a massive and extremely remote celestial object emitting exceptionally large amounts of energy and typically having a star-like image in a telescope. Wait, what the heck does that have to do with redeveloping a city? Who are these people? And why does Vinny look so serious but then have the cutest hair accessories I've ever seen? They're literally Buneary and Pancham themed hair ties on top of a unit who looks like he would fold me in half because I littered in front of Quasarticle Inc. headquarters. Also, this next thing I'm about to say is actually crazy, but Lumiose City kinda looks like a quasar. I mean, we're technically not wrong here. This could make sense. Speaking of Lumiose City, this presentation showed off a bunch of new redesigns for the NPC characters that we'll meet on our journey. So let's take a closer look at them. But before that, please let us know down in the comments, where do you think the other X and Y characters are? AZ runs a hotel now, so maybe the disbanded Team Flare members are all running an Airbnb. Who knows? Continuing on. Is that the Hex Maniac? Or her mom? Or is it the ghost girl? Has she found who she's been looking for? Can that be me? This girl is the Ace Trainer girl. We even see a variation of her in the trailer. Such a shame, she looks a lot less sassy than she did in X and Y. If she's back and the ghost girl's back but with new designs, then this must be the schoolgirl. These are the office workers or colleagues, which is actually new for Kalos. They didn't have those NPC types before. Jogger, another new one. New artist design, very nice, but I do miss the gusto of the old ones. A backpacker, different from Hiker, that was in X and Y, so this one's a new NPC type for Kalos as well. Mentioning Ghost Girl again, we see a variant of her in the trailer. This is a new lady design, we presume. We see a variant of her on the site. This guy looks to be a cabbie type trainer, an NPC type new to Kalos. You even see his little car-shaped badge and see him next to a blue car on the trailer. That same badge and car we see later in one of the wild zones. Hopefully this doesn't replace the Go-Goat system from X and Y altogether. Better yet, we hope you can still ride a multitude of Pokemon like in the previous Legends game. New Nurse Joy design, very cute. I don't know, this one could be a lass? And maybe this one's a gentleman? A rich boy or monsieur? He's got the fancy green gloves on, or maybe he's a butler, I'm not sure. An owner? On the site, this looks to be a model, also new to X and Y. A new waitress design. What looks to be a new madam type. Makes sense with her spritzy. A new school kid, not to be confused with school girl. New worker designs. A new look for the Rising Star NPC, we get a couple looks of them. And we have a new youngster. So many new designs. We even got a new design for Cyndaquil. Wait, but seriously, why Tepig? Because he's goated. Well, yes, but considering— I'm playing, bro, I'm sorry. Oshaw's way better.
Hey!
Well, okay, considering everyone was throwing around the possibility of a Johto or Unova remake before ZA's reveal, we wonder if this could be intentional in some way. But we do love the fan canon that Cyndaquil just got isekai to Hisui. Leaving Tepig to carry on for him. Pokemon Legends ZA is finally, truly revealed, and we couldn't be more hyped. There is still a lot to go over, but we'll save that for another video. Right, AZ?
The market is closed, and the port has settled. Go get some rest.
You heard the man. Rest well, everyone.